So in this video, we're going to talk about how can you get more Turo bookings for your business. And the problem here is that most Turo hosts think that, oh, I have this really nice car. I have no idea why it's not running. And the bottom line here is that Turo doesn't necessarily reward the nicest cars. It rewards the people that get the right cars but also have the proper listing in place. Now, if you're a person where you've clicked on this video, you probably clicked on it because let's say you're one of two people. You're somebody that just started out, you have a car or two, and the car's been sitting for a couple days, it's not making you any money. Or you're somebody that has a fleet of 7 or 8 cars and the fleet's making half of what it should be, and you don't exactly know why your cars aren't renting out as much. You just know that in your market, there are people that are actually making money off of this business. And you're asking yourself, well, if they're making money off of it, why can't I? That's going to be the main thing that we're breaking down in this video. And it's basically going to be broken down into 3 components. And these 3 components are going to be what are the things that Turo finds to be the most important to actually boost your car up in the algorithm. And the things that I'm going to be talking about, they're not based out of theory. They're based off of my own experience with the fleet that we have of 50 plus cars. Plus, I've also worked now with hundreds of people all over the country, and it's going to be showing you what this actually looks like in practice. I'll even give you an example. There's a client that I was working with about a month ago. They had a 5-car fleet, and they only had around a 40% utilization, which for those of you that are new to the channel, that basically means that the cars were only booked 40% out of the entire month. That was the average for the entire fleet. We instituted these major changes that are going to be centered around these 3 factors that then the next month, bam, utilization bumped up to 70%. Now, again, for those of you watching, you know that we're shooting more so for an 80% utilization, but to go from 40 to 70, pretty solid in a month. Now, I know all you watching are like, all right, Peter, tell us, what are these 3 things that Turo really cares about? And this is going to be specifically, I'm going to read it off from their website and what they've put on there. So the first thing that they care about is making your vehicle stand out. The second thing is going to be host performance. And I'll get into that a little bit more. That's how they're rating you based on like reviews and how quick are you responding, things of that nature. And the third one's going to be staying active on the platform. So the first thing I want to get into, which is making your vehicle stand out. Well, what does that mean? Right? If you just say it to me, it's like, oh, well, that could mean a lot of things, right? It could be the pictures, it could be the descriptions, it could just be the pricing. I'm going to show you how all of these things actually work together to determine making the vehicle stand out, not just in your eyes, but in what Turo actually cares about. So, part 1 here is actually going to be your pictures. Now, you're probably sitting here and thinking, Peter, what do the pictures need to be? Do I need to get them professionally taken? Do they need to look a certain way? Do they have to have a certain background? I'm going to tell you exactly what the pictures need to be. Typically, we've always just taken the pictures on an iPhone. Take them on an iPhone, stand 10 to 15 feet away because the algorithm actually zooms in on pictures for some reason when they actually get uploaded onto the platform. And then you want to make sure that you're taking pictures of all angles of the car. What does that mean? You want to have a picture of the front. You want to have it of both of the sides. You want to have it of the back. I even open up the trunk so they can see the kind of trunk space. Then I normally get inside the car. I'll show them what the dash looks like in front of the wheel itself, the infotainment system, and I'll also take a picture of the whole back seat so they can see exactly what that looks like. Now, next thing is going to be your description. Turo actually recently put out an update where descriptions are still important. They just want them to be a little bit less lengthy. So make sure that you have a clear, crisp description of what exactly this vehicle is. And between you and I would put things in there that people actually care about. Hey, it seats this many people. This is the miles per gallon that it gets. Those are things that people actually care about, which will make them want to actually rent out the vehicle. Now, something to mention here is that while Turo is in support of less lengthy descriptions, what they're more so looking for you to do is to fill out all the features tabs. What exactly does that mean when it's talking about like, okay, does it have cargo space? Is it delivery ready? Is it all-wheel drive? Does it has Bluetooth? Make sure that you fill all those out because those are, let's say they're taking the place of these lengthy descriptions. So third thing that I want you to focus on is specifically the pricing setting. Now, we all know that Turo has the dynamic pricing where you set it and then they're going to determine what the price is going to be based on the demand from the market. There's still a manual component to this where you can set, like, okay, I wouldn't want the car to be rented below this amount for this many days moving forward. That's a setting that you can adjust in the calendar. So, okay, you put the dynamic pricing on, it'll say this car will rent out between so and so. You can go and adjust and say, like, okay, I don't want it to be below this amount. Or also a quick tidbit, if you're watching this video, it's October 27th right now. We're coming up on the busiest time of the year here for renting out vehicles, which is going to be Thanksgiving all the way through the new year. So if there's a time where there's going to be less supply of cars, and not to get into an economics lesson, but a lot of people travel during the holidays, which means that in a lot of the bigger markets in the United States, supply goes very low for Turo cars, but demand is very high, which basically means that since there is less supply, you can demand a higher price due to the fact that the demand's a little bit higher. So make sure that you're adjusting your pricing accordingly for the season. But just overall, make sure your pricing is competitive. I mean, don't make your car where it's $100 more than any other car in the market, because of course it's not going to rent, right? If somebody sees that, let's say you have a 19 Versa for $60 a day and all the competition has it at 35, well, why would they rent yours for $60 a day? You are basically outpricing yourself. So another thing that's going to be important here, which is how are your discounts set? Turo just redid their whole discount settings back in August of this year, which is August of 25. That's something I could get into in this video, but make sure that the discounts either set at Turo's minimum. I'm not the biggest fan of discounts, but I would read more into that. Basically what I'll say is just leave them at Turo's minimum or don't have them at all. It's really going to depend on, again, what exactly your market's going to do. The last thing I want to mention here on listings is going to be availability of having access to your car. Of course, the more days that somebody is going to be able to rent your car, the more likely that Turo is going to show that car to people. Well, why would they do that? Because, hey, if somebody's saying, oh, I'm going to come visit my family in December, I don't know if I'm going to come at the end of the month for New Year or the middle of the month, and your car's available for that entire time frame, then they're going to show it higher up on the algorithm as opposed to somebody that only has availability during the New Year time. So I would say that those are the main things specifically on the listing front. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is going to be host performance. And the first thing that I'm going to break this down to is into reviews, which specifically when a guest rents your vehicle, they're leaving 3 different types of reviews. They're leaving an overall review, they're leaving a maintenance review, and they're also leaving a cleanliness review. If your car, I'll actually give you an example from the consumer perspective. Let's say that I have family that's down in Fort Lauderdale and I'm going to visit them. And I'm looking at different cars on Turo. Would I ever consider renting the car that has a 3.5 overall rating? Well, no. Why would I rent the car that has a 3.5 when there's another one that has a 4.9? Especially if I'm constantly seeing in the reviews that, oh, this car is getting a 3.5 because it's never clean. Well, I don't want to get into a dirty car. I keep my own car clean. So why would I rent a car and pay money for a car that's not even clean? So those are the things that the reviews are breaking down into. Make sure, again, that your car is clean, maintenance is in good order, no check engine lights, you're taking care of the oil, the tires, the brakes, all of those smaller things that may pop up. Now, for overall, a big part of this is going to relate to your responsiveness to a guest. And I'll give you an example. Let's say that somebody rents my vehicle and they get a flat tire and they're texting me, oh, Peter, I'm on the side of the road in Pittsburgh. It's the winter, it's freezing. What am I going to do? Now, any rational person watching this is probably thinking, well, Peter, they would just get out the spare and change it. Or they would call AAA or whatever and have them change it. Normally when a guest is having a problem, they're flustered. You can see even emotions are running high a little bit. They're not thinking to do those things right off the bat, which is why they're asking you because it's your car and they don't even know, like, are they allowed to use the spare? Can they call AAA? So that would be a prime example where when you answer immediately, if they text you, you answer within 3 to 5 minutes. Well, boom, now they're going to be like, well, this person was responsive, especially when I needed them, more likely to give you a good review. And as a little secret, Turo is actually tracking that, how quickly that you get back to your guest. And this is going to relate overall to where they rank you in Turo's algorithm. Big part of the responsiveness there. You want to make sure that you have that part of it in order. So another thing that Turo is going to look at, which is important, is going to be basically number one, are you not canceling trips? And the second thing is going to be, are you fulfilling trips and the vehicle is exactly what it said? Now, on the cancellation side, if you can't, let's say somebody has booked a trip for 3 days and you cancel it because, oh, you notice one of the tires don't look really good and you need to go get a new tire. Unfortunately, Turo is pinning that against you. Even if your car was out for a month or a month and a half at a time and you have to cancel the next trip, again, they're counting that against you in your profile. So if somebody does have a car out for a long time, such as a month, reach out to them. Hey, how's the oil? How's the brakes? How are the tires? Make sure that you know what condition the car is in before you let it get booked out for more trips. Now, I know you guys, if you're watching this and you're like, hey, look, that's nice that you're telling us that this is what Turo cares about on the listing side and this is what they care about on the performance side, but I don't really want to do all that stuff myself. I'm in a pretty good market. There's a lot of competition here. That's really the whole reason why we built Car Rental Coach. It's specifically to help people that are watching this. It's either you have a fleet and it's not performing, or you want to start a fleet and you want it to perform right off the bat. It's not a course, it's not a class. It's specifically one-on-one care where we show you how to make your business as successful as you want it to be. So if you're the kind of person you want to, skip all of the trials and tribulations that I had to deal with, there's also a community aspect to it as well, that everybody that works in our program gets to intermingle and get access to special deals. If that's something that might interest you, go to carrentalcoach.com, little survey there to fill out. If you are qualified to work with us, me or a different member of my team will get on with you personally. We'll analyze your market, see your situation, and we'll see if there's a way that we can help. Now, to get back into this, the third thing that I want to talk about is going to be staying active on the platform. And I see this all the time where people will reach out and they'll be like, yeah, I've had this car listed for 2 weeks and it just hasn't done anything. And I always ask the same question: what have you done to get this vehicle to rent out more? And the most popular answer is, oh, I adjusted the pricing. So here's the nice thing that it is not just about pricing to get your vehicle rented. It is all of these other things that we talked about, from the actual listing to what kind of host are you? And then now this is going to be the third part, which is what is your actual availability? So, number one, it's consistently updating your calendar. The second thing is going to be basically making sure that that availability is accurate, which I touched on this a little bit in the last segment, but it's making sure that you actually have that availability. Not that it's open and then somebody books in and then it gets canceled. You want to make sure that it's actually there. And this is going to tie back into listings a little bit. There's a couple different settings that work together, but I'll give you guys the overarching theme of it. There are settings that you can set up in Turo where it says, okay, if somebody books the car, basically saying if the car comes back, you need a certain amount of time to get the car ready before it goes out again. The shorter that time is also contributes to how much you will be raised up in the algorithm in beating out your competition. There's about 3 different settings that tie into that, and it's something that you would understand when you're more so in the platform. I might actually, now that I'm talking about it, I kind of want to make a video going into those settings to show you guys exactly what it looks like. I don't want to do that on this video, but that's going to be important. And then also, again, when it comes to this idea of staying active, it is how quickly are you responding to your people that are renting out vehicles. If they're asking questions about the car when they rent it and you don't respond at all, trust me, Turo is going to think less of you. And it's not so much that the company or the reps are thinking less of you. It's that they have created a system that is looking for certain things for you to fulfill. Responding to guests quickly is one of them. If you are not responding to guests, then they're going to put you lower on the algorithm. So to go back to it, these are the main things that I want you to focus on to actually boost up your listing in the algorithm and to get more bookings. So just to go over them real quick again, one is going to be the actual listing. What is your pictures, description, pricing, discounts, all of the other back-end settings that I've mentioned that actually contribute to getting your car booked. The second one is going to be host performance. Basically, how are you as a host? Are you getting good reviews? Reviews specifically in those three categories: overall, maintenance, cleanliness. Are you responding to your guests? Going to be a pretty big one, right? And also, are you not canceling trips? Do you have a good trip completion? Third one is going to be staying active. Is your calendar actually active? Are you not canceling trips? And also, are you providing people with a great experience? Really hope this video helps, guys. These are all things, again, that I went through Turo's system, and I know it with my own cars to give you the most updated things that they care about, and know that it is something that is forever fluid. So I'll even give you guys an example of two major things that were changed this year. And there's a video that I did a couple months ago where I went into all of the changes. One, the review system was completely revamped as of this year. Before, it was just one overall review. Second thing that was changed this year is that they did rework the entire discounts platform, or not platform. They reworked the way the discounts work. So you need to make sure that you understand that Turo is forever changing. A good way to actually know about that is on Turo's website. They basically have a news blog where they put out a lot of major things that are happening with the company. So I would check out that as well. That's a great resource to know when things are changing. So hope this helps you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.